So if you would design Cyberpunk today, and knowing what you know, would you change something in Cyberpunk universe?
That's a tough problem when you're working in near future history, because you're constantly doing a foot race to get out ahead of what is actually there. I wouldn't change a whole lot because of two things. One, the technology has worked on a similar curve to what we saw, which is it becomes cheap, it becomes usable. Other people find ways to use it that are not authorized. What I didn't see at the time were things like 3D printing. I love it, for example, now that a kid can be born with an arm missing, and you can 3D print an arm that works, and it doesn't cost $1 million. That's astounding. That is technology that's gone to the street and is giving people what they need. This phone, we all have these right now, right? We have apps that get downloaded to them. Way the hell back in, I think it was 89, 90, I came up with this idea called the agent. And the agent was essentially, at that point, a cell phone. Somebody came up with a large cell phone like this, and everybody said, yeah, that'll never sell. What they had done is they had designed it to take programs and download them into this. And thus, this was no longer a phone, it was a tiny computer. My son once said this to me. He said, you realize, Dad, you invented the cell phone. And I went, really? And he said, yeah, it's basically a big phone that takes apps, or what you called micro programs, and it does stuff for you. How come I'm not rich? That's the race you run, is getting out ahead of the technology. I'd already come up with essentially what cell phones do. And at a certain point, all you can do is say, well, they happen in your head now, and you have, Lucy making phone calls out of her head. We're probably there now, as was, the idea of AI. All that stuff's here. We just had to get out ahead of it. And I wouldn't change any of that. And as for the sociological things, we're kind of still doing it. You can't really say, there are no mega corporations. They're all out there. And many of them are more powerful than governments. There wasn't a lot to change because it was on the right path to begin with.